Welcome. Let's Play Rule the Waves 2 as France, starting in 1920. This is episode 83, and we are at the start of 1951, but before we pounce into that, let's just have a look at 1950 in summary, which I think was a more productive year than I thought it was going to be, particularly in terms of the tensions here have risen up against my target, Germany, and unexpectedly against Japan, and incidentally against Italy, that seems to have some sort of death wish. We've refitted a huge number of ships so that our fleet contains a substantial component of surface-to-air missiles, which I'm really pleased about, as well as a couple of new constructions coming through. And we have started our Charleroi class with the Charleroi itself and the Dauphin, as well as the new Ile-de-France cruiser killer, little battle cruiser, and a brand new carrier, the Rhone, and a couple of updated Epée class guided missile destroyers. So very pleased, made possible by finances going up from 480 to 588. Thank you very much, increased tensions. A few techs, including the ever-important plastic furnishings. And the budget has been dipping around negative values a little bit because I've been keeping the spending up all the way through as far as I possibly could. Nothing scrapped. No, I suppose, do you call the SAMs a rebuild or a refit? For me, it's a refit because it's a small addition. I mean, something like 380 tons, but it's not like changing machinery or something like that. That's what we achieved last year as we consolidated our piece and refitted the fleet for the surface-to-air missile age. So here we are in January. I've made a few tweaks. Our monthly balance has gone down to minus 1,000 because I've selected all of these really old destroyers, which were obsolescent, or indeed obsolete, and have refitted them, not for the money savings, but for the ASW score. So I've given them forward-facing ASW mortars, so they have this nice 10 value across the piece, which I'm reasonably pleased about. And they'll clear in 3 months, so this minus figure won't be a problem. And other than that, it's just settling gently into the rhythm of trying to provoke a war. My hope is that when these are all done, I will build up some money. The Forbin light cruiser, which I've also updated with actually just gave it a small refit just to stop the money, will be out. The rest are all quite long term. We'll have to be patient before we get our second Rhone class aircraft carrier sorted out. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the distribution of the fleet. We are light on our CVLs. I'm not bothered about. We're fine-ish for cruisers, and we have some excellent cruisers as well. We are light on light cruisers, and I remember Pat, when we were talking about the battleship rebuilds, suggesting that I develop a new guided missile light cruiser. So memo to self to go back and have a look at that. We've got a very modern destroyer force. That 20 isn't true because I've just put 10 old ones that are for trade protection into refit. Fine for the corvettes and fine for the submarines, in as much as I want to play the submarines. Let's crack on into January and an upheaval in Java. Japan is apparently sending a force there, ostensibly to restore order. We should issue an ultimatum and make them back down. We won't, but, you know, it will increase the budget and, yeah, increase our tension. I don't think any of the others are worthwhile choices. So let's go for that. Yeah, they're unimpressed. They're unimpressed because most of our fleet is in reserve or in mothball, and there are none based in Southeast Asia except for some corvettes. Still, it almost took us to war. I didn't expect it to leap up that high. That's a little bit of a danger. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. The danger is that we get caught on the hop. Now, the good news is we've only got a bunch of rubbish in Southeast Asia, so that would stop the Japanese from deploying its surprise attack in any meaningful way, unless it can mount a surprise attack in Europe, which would be odd. It would take me time to mobilize my fleet, get the quality up to at least fair, and sail it over to Southeast Asia, in which time he may have captured some of my colonies. Now, given that we're going into a post-colonial era, sort of boo-hoo, it's not really going to affect my economy particularly, and might allow me to base less things in Southeast Asia or indeed the South Pacific. So it's not so important. So I'll let it ride. We'll see what happens. If the Japanese row back slightly and get a sense of humor about, I was just kidding about Indonesia, then it'll be fine. And if not, then the first part of the war would be a little bit uncomfortable, but I can afford to lose all of these things and it not really matter that much. Other than, I guess, if they capture several of my colonies and therefore several of my naval bases, the size of fleet that I can send to Southeast Asia might be quite difficult. And so effectively it would be like having a war with the United States. Neither of us, well, I couldn't, send one all the way to Southeast Asia without perhaps British support. I don't know if that works like that. In any case, yeah, be interesting, but not really what I want. Charles de Gaulle finished working up? Ah, yes, Charles de Gaulle needs some aeroplanes. The Germany scrapping some old nonsense from the mid-20s, as is Japan. They've even scrapped a submarine built in 38. More fool them. Okay, I'll just do the Charles de Gaulle. Okay, I've added an air group to the Charles de Gaulle. I've also just tweaked my air groups so that all the squadrons are 10, just to give me more flexibility. I've taken air groups off other carriers and put them onto Charles de Gaulle, so the Charles de Gaulle wouldn't start with poor air units, and then I've backfilled all of those carriers with new planes, and I've put all of the carriers onto active fleet in order to boost their crew quality and also their air crew quality. So that's pushed up my minus balance quite a bit. We'll see if this is a prudent move. I've moved all the active fleet to the Mediterranean to have one sea zone less to move if necessary. So yeah, let's just see if it's war or not. And there's the Forbin, and there's 12 destroyers. Nothing. Germany still increasing its naval budget. Japan doing some scrapping. Oh, an old battleship. That's nice. Right. So yes, negatively impacting my budget quite a lot by having everyone in the Mediterranean. Tension still at 11. Training has commenced. Let's see where this takes us all. So obviously this has put off any plans to build a new light cruiser. And some more reconstructions done, which is all very lovely. I might just have a look at developing a new fighter. I know I had a new variant just recently, but it feels like we haven't had a fighter in a short while, and it would be good to, well, first of all, I guess let's compare fighters. So he seems to have the newest, but not the fastest. Ooh, oh yes, the fastest. I'm still going to look. Still think it might be interesting. We need a new flying boat and stuff like that, but we'll see. Okay. Come on, Japan. Do you have the balls for it? Ooh, search radar 4. Nice. We'll have that. Oh, okay. We'll go and have a look at you. Okay, the final month before I need to halt one of the constructions. See if Japan comes down. The British government's interested in buying the rights to light forces. Yeah, okay, by all means. No, that'll eke us out another month-ish. Close to mastering plastic interior fitting. Sorry, it just makes me laugh. Deck launched interceptors. That's nice. Japan still scrapping stuff. Good. Granted independence. Well done, America. Italy is apparently sending a force there ostensibly. We should send an ultimatum. I mean, how can Japan be, worried if I'm being bullshy with the Italians? Italians back down. Well, there you go. Okay, I'm going to have to stop something. Sadly, the Dauphin. Let's halt that. Quickly restore some stuff. 7 months till the Rhone. Hopefully, increase naval spending. Well, thank you very much for supporting my hardline stance on Japan. There we go. Re-equipped with Potez E. So Japan's still resolutely stuck at 11. Our funds are recovering. It might be that I have to turn the Dauphin on and then off and then on in order to push the building forward a little bit and keep our heads above water. There's fine. Okay, so if we put the Dauphin back to resume construction, yeah, actually that will give us a few months. Our quality for our carriers is improving. That's nice. At least that's the core of the fleet. Still concerned about this. Still concerned the Germans are at 4. What use is that? And into November, Japan's increased its naval budget. Actually, I was going to say I should turn up my intelligence for the Japanese, but that will only annoy them. I've had high intelligence on the Germans, and I don't seem to have had any spying events for a year and a half. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Well, you see, there are some intelligence reports, but that's fine, but nothing particularly exciting. And so to December. Oh, slump in the economy, widespread unemployment and poverty, cutbacks. So we could have -1. Increases tension. If that increases tension against the Japanese, it's going to -1 my budget anyhow. So I might, some charity for the poor. We're at unrest level 1, which of course is fine, but I much prefer it to be a little bit more solid in these things. But obviously the monthly balance is going to, is jumping up. New flying boat as a private venture. So the new one is a bit faster. The range is a heck of a lot less. Not sure I'm happy about that. No. I mean, yes, it's got slightly better firepower and is slightly tougher, but this one, the reliability is good. So I'm going to say cancel to that. I'm having a shorter range. Not at this moment. Japanese commissioned a new battle cruiser. Let's see what that looks like, shall we? Ships, battle cruiser, Yashima. Oh, they've done 2. In fact, 3. Fair enough. Nice. 3 battle cruisers. Wow. That's a lot of money. So we're going to cross over into the new year, a new research. Thank you very much. Right. Counterintelligence believes that Japan's stolen. No, we shouldn't get less. A little bit of spying. That's fine, everybody. Fine. And that reduced. Okay. I'm pleased with that. So we can start January 52 with not having a war with Japan. Good. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. Stay safe and see you next time.